Good morning, 7th grade. Well, today we're going to start with Onshape. And what we do in Onshape, of course, is we're going to do some 3D modeling and eventually get into some 3D printing. So, of course, before I left, I said we made sure everyone could get signed in Onshape, so you'll be on Onshape. If you don't have headphones, go grab some by my door or take yours out and use them because it just makes it easier. Otherwise, I'll have 28 kids listening to Mr. Teskey talk, and no one wants to hear that. So here we go. Go to your sign in. Remember to capitalize your password. Okay. If you don't remember it, you can always click forget password. And once you have that, you can click sign in. And of course, you get here and you might have already started one. We're just going to start new so everyone can be on the same page. So you go create and you're going to go to document. One thing about these videos is if I go too fast, just hit pause on the video. A lot of people like to have both screens up. That kind of helps. My screen doesn't always look exactly the same as yours, but this is a good reference one that you can always come back to. So you're going to click new document, and we are just going to call this one, use your first and last name. So for example, Rich Teskey, cube, okay? Create that public document. So here we are. Now we're going to be at the main screen and just going through everything that we talked about before. And if we look at everything here, if you remember right here, these are all your different planes. You have your right, your front, and your top, and they go all in order, okay? Up here, of course, we have all the different tools. We'll only use about 5 of these. So don't get overwhelmed like looking at these and going, oh my Lord, there's so many. Don't worry about that. Your goal is to learn about 5 of them. We're going to scratch the surface of this program, and that's what you have to remember. And this is the other thing I keep telling people, is you don't know how to use this program right now. And I know it's brand new, but that can be frustrating at times, but you are learning something that I always think is quite amazing. So the first thing you're always going to do is when we get a new one is we're going to click sketch. Okay. Once I click on sketch, I have to then click on the plane. So sketch, and then I'm going to go over here and choose a plane. It really doesn't matter what plane you choose. I'm going to choose the front one. Now, when I click on that, you can see now it has this rectangle around it. 2 ways to get that rectangle to change. Over here on the view cube, and I haven't really talked about this, if I right click and hold down, I can rotate this however I want. If I click on a side or a corner like this, it'll automatically change it, see? What I usually do is I usually right click, which I think on your Chromebook it's a 2-finger click. I right click and then I just go view to normal. Okay, there it is. Now I'm going to scroll out a little bit because I don't want to be zoomed in, so that you don't have to, but I'm just going to do it because I think it's easier to show you. Now once I do this, you can see here's my sketch. Now I'm not done yet. I've picked the sketch plane. I want to sketch it on here. Now I have to draw something. So I'm going to go up here to the corner rectangle and I'm going to click on it. Now it gives me the crosshairs. Now again, this does not matter where you put it. The only thing I wouldn't do is don't go here because you get some issues later on that not a big deal, but just makes life a little easier. So I'm going to click once and then I'm just going to drag over. Now we're going to make a 4x4, but all I'm going to do is click again. And now you can see, now once I click that, it makes the box. Now see how this, I'm going to zoom in for you, see how this is white. Now that means I have that picked, okay? So all I'm going to do is hit the number 4 on my keyboard and it changes it. Then I'm going to hit return or enter. And what happens is it goes to the other one now. See this? And it goes to the other dimension. So therefore I'm going to hit 4 again and hit enter. Now, when you're done, you should have a 4x4 square like that. Now, if you don't and it messes up, just go up here and hit the back button. Or you can always do this. Let's say you mess up, you can always right click over here and delete the sketch, okay? You're never going to wreck anything in here. It's just always slowing down to make sure that you understand what's going on, okay? So once I have that, I want a 4x4, I'm good, okay? So then I'm going to hit the green check mark. Now I'm done with my sketch. When I'm done sketching, what I tend to do is I'll go over here and I go like that, just so I can see what I'm looking at, because sometimes it gets kind of confusing when you're trying to do something and it's flat. Okay, so now I flip it on the corner. The next thing we're going to do is make this three-dimensional. And we did a little bit of this in class, and some people got it, some people fell behind, so this will be a way for you guys to kind of all get on the same board here. Same page, I mean. We're going to go up here to extrude, again, right here, and if you highlight over it, it says extrude. I'm going to click on that. Remember, everything occurs in pairs. You can see over here now, there's my sketch, here's my extrude. It's red because I'm not done with it. I can't click the green check mark because you clicked it to extrude, but you haven't extruded anything. So now I'm going to click on here, and now it draws it out. Now I can sit here and grab this and pull it, but instead, I'm just going to go right here. It's already highlighted. I'm just going to type 4. And once I do that, I click off of it. There I go. Now I have a 4" by 4" by 4". Once I have that, I'm going to click there. Now, here's the first part of the cube. Okay, so moving on here. Now, what's next is we have a cube. I'm just going to hold down, right click here, and I'm just going to drag, because that's what you can do to flip it around. You can see how that looks. Okay, let's say you get all messed up here. You can always go up to this view cube. You can click it however you want it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to pick a side to sketch on. So we're going to grab this one right here. I'm going to click on sketch, and again, now I'm not clicking on these planes. I want to click on a plane or the face of the cube, and it doesn't matter which one. So I might click on this one. Now you can see there it makes that sketch too. Okay, so I might right click. I might go down to view normal to sketch plane, and there it flips. All right, so there's my rectangle, or my square, sorry. The first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to extrude different objects. Okay, we're going to do, the first one we're going to do is we're going to go up here to a center point circle, and you can just click there. So what center point circle means is wherever I click, that's the center of the circle. Now our goal is to get this in the middle. So all I do, and I'm going to zoom in so you can see this, is I'm going to run my cursor along here. I'm not clicking anything, I'm just running it. And halfway there will eventually be a box. Oh, see it right there? There's the box. That means that's the halfway point. And now look, it gives me this thing called trailing ants. Okay? So that's one way of doing it. Oops, let me zoom out here a little bit. And so I do the same thing on this side. I haven't even clicked anything yet. I'm just running my cursor there. So now watch. That tells me now that's directly in the center of that. Okay? So now I might click. And once I do that, it makes the little points. And these are called midline points, so you don't have to worry about those. So once I click, I'm just going to click again. And we're going to make that 2 inches. 2, and then return. Okay? So there it is. I'm going to finish that sketch. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude that circle. So I'm going to go up here to sketch. Oops. I messed up there. I'm going to go up here to extrude, and I'm going to click on this circle to extrude it. Now you can see I'm going to make that, I don't know, let's make it 2 inches. So there we go. Now, so you can see now how I have a 2-inch circle. So that's one way to make a circle. Now, what I'm going to show you is a second way to make a circle, but we're going to extrude it a different way. So I'm going to click sketch, click on whatever plane you don't want here. I'm going to click on this one. Okay, and I'm going to, sorry, I'm going a little too fast. I'll right click, view to normal. All right, I'm going to do the same thing here, but I'm going to show you something. All right, let's say I make a circle like that. I'm going to make it 2 inches. And I'm going to speed up a little bit so you guys can go back and watch this. Now let's say like this, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not in the middle. We're going to use a button here called dimension. Dimension is going to move the circle. So I'm going to click on this. All right, that's one click. The second click is going to be against this side. Now, all this is this is telling me that's how far away it is. So for example, I'm going to click on this now. To get that directly in the center, it would have to be a 2 because this whole thing is 4. Half of 4 is 2. Now I have to get it in the center the other way. So if I click this, and then I click the other side, and then another click, hit 2, and now that's directly in center. So that's another way to move stuff, is dimensioning it. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'll finish the sketch. You are then going to click extrude again. You're going to extrude it, but now we are going to click on this one called remove. And what remove does is it takes it the other way through, and we're just going to draw that all the way through, and now we have that in it. So this depth doesn't matter, just as long as it's all the way through. So now, and I finish the sketch, and now I have a circle. Okay? All right. So let's look at another thing that we can do is we are going to sketch, pick a side that we haven't used yet, click on it. I'm going to right click, view to normal. Then I'm going to go up here and use this thing called point. Okay. All right. It doesn't really matter where you put this point. Just put it on the face somewhere. There's my point. See it? There it is, this random point. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the sketch, and I still have that point. So now this is a new one. We're going to use one called a hole. You have to put a point before you do a hole. So once I click a hole, I'm going to click on that. Now, I want to talk about some differences here. We have a simple hole, which this is how deep it goes, and this is how wide. We have what we call counterbore. You can see how that's offset. And the last one we have is called countersink, and that one's angled. Okay, you can pick one and just put it in there. Okay, do countersink or counterbore. And if you want, you can mess with these. There's nothing you can really have to worry about. So there. Okay, so now I have a hole there, I have a hole there, I have an extrusion. So we got 2 more sides. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do this one, which is called shell. Shell is you're going to click shell and then click on a side. Now I might run into a little problem picking that side. Or if that one's going to give me a better issue. Let's cancel shell because I'll have to go through and change some stuff, and I don't have enough time on this video. So that's what I'd like you to do. Is this is your final cube. Those are your 3 sides. That's what you want to do to it. Okay? And that's going to be your assignment for today. When you are done with it, you're going to go up here and you're going to click on share. Down here, you're going to type rtesky at peers.k12.mn.us. Make sure it's exactly like this, otherwise I won't get it, and then you're going to click share. Okay? And that's your first assignment. All right, everyone. Have a good day.